Welcome to the Release Day Series podcast, B-Sides. Joining me today is Tamara Grace to talk about, it's a beautiful tune. It's a sad tune. It's called Autumn Tears. And Tamara, welcome to the show. When I first heard this song, I was like, I gotta chat with you about this because I'm an instrumental guy first. When I heard the instrumental behind it, I was just like, whoa, like this sounds sounds so good. Talk to me about Autumn Tears. Where did it come from? What is the story behind this expressive piece of work?
Yeah, for sure. So the first time I was writing this song, it was actually coming out from a toxic relationship that I was in. And there were these memories that were being put in the back of my head where I couldn't deal with them. And so for years and years, I just wasn't able to face it. But a couple of years ago, I was by myself outside, went off the bus, was going into a mall, and I stumbled upon my ex for the first time since the breakup. And so seeing him brought back so many memories. And the piano tune was something that I already had a little bit back then. So I'm an overthinker. So when I came back home, I kept on thinking about it for days and days and days. Until one day, I just decided that I needed to write something because I hadn't written something in quite a while. So I was playing the piano tune over and over because that specific tune, I did not have any lyrics, any perfect lyrics to put on it. And so instantly, after playing it over and over, the first verse came so fluidly. And then when I realized what I was, talking about, I started crying because then I was like, okay, so we're finally going to start facing this and we're going to have to do this in order to heal. So yeah, it was difficult, but we ended up getting there. And I'm glad that I ended up writing it because it helped me grow and heal and cope.
It's got to be tough. I don't write like that. I'm not a writer. I can't express like that. So I can only imagine that it's got to be therapeutic, obviously, as a songwriter to get it out. It's crazy too how people have that effect on you because, it sounds like you've had like such great support from your family, especially in the music world, right? Recognizing your passion and love for singing at a young age. And isn't it insane how like one person can almost make you feel like none of that matters? And I know that's pretty extreme, but when you think like, it's like, oh my goodness, like it's a toxic relationship, the way that it made me feel, the way that I made him feel, just this back and forth. Sometimes you kind of forget about all the good in your life. Is that kind of accurate to how you might have felt at the time?
Definitely. I feel like my family has always been super, super supportive given my music because, I grew up in a musical background. So just having that passion and having that decision that I wanted to make music a full-time career, they were completely understanding from the beginning. And they understand also that I'm not much of a talker when it comes to, discussing my problems. And they're kind of also used to the way that, we're going to know what she's going through when she shows us a new song. Yes. They know it instantly. When I go to them and tell them, okay, I have a new song, sit down, let's talk, let me sing, and I will sing, that kind of brings the conversation. And they would understand that from the beginning. So yeah, they've always been super supportive.
Shout out to Tamara's parents for just like getting her into and supporting her through music because you have a beautiful voice. You obviously are gifted vocally and on the piano as well, instrumentally. So thank goodness that they're fostering that and have fostered that to this point as well. And I'm sure will forever. Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
So you've got a couple other songs. Sad Boys and and Bad Girls.
Yeah, Bad Girl. Yeah.
Oh, Bad Girl. Sorry. Okay. So when talk to me about the production of those because I'm leading into the production of Autumn Tears here, but I kind of want to get how those songs, your kind of the production process has been for those songs, and kind of we'll get to how it may have differed when working with a couple of superstar producers as well. So talk to me a bit about the initial, like your initial approach to producing your other songs.
Yeah. So when I For the Sad Boys, I actually had a song that was released before that called Teddy Bear as well. And the way that I wrote it, it was kind of like a trilogy. So I had 3 songs that I put together that kind of connected in a sense, similar to like a novel where there's like an intro, there's a middle and an end. Usually like how it works with all my songs, I would start it off by myself in my room, have my piano on the side, and I would start a tune, and instantly a title would come about first for some reason rather than the lyrics. And then it would just flow.
Okay, so we kind of like bedroom producing essentially, right?
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
sort of that's where a lot of those came from. Okay, so now with Autumn Tears, now was this something again that started in the bedroom? Obviously, it's got to start somewhere, and I'm sure
exactly.
it starts, by yourself. But what was it about this song that made you want to bring it to producers? So let's just kind of clear this up here. It was produced by Dominique Messier, who's worked with, maybe people have heard of Céline Dion. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I don't know. And then mastered by Marc Thériault, also someone who's worked with Céline Dion. Who else do we have here? Charlotte Cardin, Sia, Eric Clapton. So some names people might have heard of. What was it about this song that you were like, it's time to take it to the next level and introduce some big players like these guys?
I worked with the same producer since I first started. So, eventually I wanted to kind of collaborate with more people, meet new producers, meet new artists. And me and my dad, we were both doing a lot of research online, and he stumbled upon a studio. And he looked on it and he said, this is such a great studio. We have to go check it out. So then we ended up visiting it, and Dominique ended up being there, and he showed us around. And, I told him my backstory. I told him that I wanted to be in the music industry. I wanted to be big someday. I wanted to make a difference. And I wanted to find a place to record. And I had this song that, I wanted to put out. And if you want to work on it with me, and then he asked me to play it. And I played it twice for him in his grand piano, which was a beautiful setup. And right then there, after I finished playing the second song, he told me, the second time, he told me, yeah, let's work on this. Let's work on this. That's
cool. That's how you got it. You got to keep evolving, right? You got to keep taking it. If that's what you want to do, right? I guess
exactly.
you got to keep taking it to another level. So what would you say, like, you took away from working with them, like that you would now, when you sit down to start writing or start even bedroom producing, is there anything that you took away from working with them that you think about now? And not like I kind of put you on the spot, maybe if you need to take a second to think about it, but if now you're going to sit down, you're going to be like, I remember what Dominique or Marc said at this point, start thinking about that now. Is there anything that kind of comes to mind about that?
Yeah, for being 2 people in the studio to, let's say, 7 people, it was a lot more different because there was an exchange with one person, with one opinion to another opinion, and there being a lot more ideas flowing in. So just having so many different opinions and just being patient with myself, and also having, if there's a deadline, it's like, because I'm someone who likes to take my time with things, but there are some times where, that cannot work. So I was able to pick up the pace with them. Yeah,
there's a certain time, I'm sure, in your career where you can take that time to record a song or record an album. But, when you're kind of just getting going, and like we just said, you're starting to take things to the next level, I'm sure there is some still a bit of a pace that you do need to work at. I mean, time is money. Money is time,
exactly.
Right? So you got to start thinking about that. And when money becomes not a thing, that's when you can start, really taking your time and really being in the moment, and however long you need to be in the studio. I'm sure that all comes with it later on. So Tamara, beautiful song. Thank you so much for joining me on the Release Day Series podcast, B-Sides.
Thank you for having me. I had such a fun time talking to you.
You can discover more podcast episodes as well as our limited video series on our website, www.releasedayseries.com. And if you'd like to support the show, we've added that option to the website as well. Send us $1, $3, $5, whatever you'd like. Any support helps. But most importantly, we appreciate you listening and sharing the podcast.